Even before the sun touched the tops of the hills, the farm was already awake. The rooster's crow wasn't just a sound, it was an invitation to another day of gratitude, labor, and love lived in silence. There, in that patch of land surrounded by wooden fences and hope, lived a family that didn't seek wealth, but peace. A cowboy with firm hands and a calm heart. A wife who transformed routine into affection. And an elderly mother, sitting on the porch, who carried in her eyes the wisdom of one who has lived much, and still smiled. If you love stories that are simple, deep, and heartwarming, subscribe to the channel now. Here, every story is a rest for the soul. Take a deep breath, and come live a day on this farm where love always reaps good fruit. The sun rose slowly, as if respecting the rhythm of the farm. The cowboy, Joao, was already up before the light touched the earth. He pulled on his worn boots, set his hat upon his head, and, for a moment, stood still looking out at the field. There was no rush, only presence. His wife, Clara, was lighting the wood-burning stove. The smell of fresh coffee mingled with the scent of burning wood. It was an aroma that said, "The day has started well." She hummed softly, almost like a prayer. On the porch, Dona Maria, the elderly mother, was already seated in her rocking chair. Covered with a simple shawl, she watched everything with attentive eyes. She no longer helped as she once did, but her presence was the invisible foundation of the house. Joao passed by her, kissed her forehead, and said, "Good morning, mother." She smiled. "May God bless the day, my son." This simple gesture was repeated every day. And every day it carried the same weight, love. The farm woke up gradually. The chickens, the cattle, the light wind passing through the trees. There was no luxury there. But there was something rare, harmony. The wooden table occupied the center of the kitchen. It wasn't large, but it always seemed sufficient. Clara placed down the still warm bread, butter, simple cheese, and steaming coffee. Nothing sophisticated. Everything real. Joao sat first, always waiting for Dona Maria. He pulled out the chair for his mother with care, like one holding a fragile treasure. Clara sat beside him, and for a few seconds, no one spoke. It was a good silence. Full. Dona Maria made the sign of the cross and said softly, "Thank you, Lord, for another day together." This moment was worth more than any wealth. There, problems weren't discussed early in the morning. First came gratitude. Joao shared the plans for the day. Fixing a fence, tending to a new calf, checking the barn. Clara spoke of what she would do at home, the simple lunch, the bread that would rise as the morning passed. Dona Maria listened to it all, offering few opinions, but when she spoke, it was always with sweetness. "Everything done with love grows," she would say. After breakfast, each followed their own path, but they carried with them that sense of belonging. The farm wasn't just land. It was home. Joao walked through the field, observing the cattle. He knew every animal. He knew when something wasn't right just by the way they walked. Life in the country had taught him patience. Nothing happens in the time of haste. While adjusting a fence, the wind blew steady. He stopped for a moment, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and smiled. He didn't complain about the heavy work. It kept him whole. He remembered when he was young and thought success was leaving. Today he knew that success was staying and caring. In the house, Clara washed clothes in the basin, watching the clothesline sway. Each hung piece carried a story. Worn shirts, simple dresses, everything clean, everything dignified. Dona Maria, on the porch, embroidered slowly. Each stitch was made without rush. She knew that life didn't need to run to have meaning. The day moved forward, and even with the fatigue, no one felt heavy. Because there, work didn't separate, it united. Dona Maria spent much of the day sitting on the porch, observing the farm like one reading a book already known, but never tiring. Her eyes followed the movement of the wind in the trees, the slow step of the animals, and the silent coming and going of the house. She didn't need to be at the center of things to be essential. Joao always said that porch was the wisest place on the farm. When something worried him, it was enough to sit beside his mother. Sometimes, she spoke little. Other times, she just held his hand. But she always offered peace. "Life doesn't shout, my son," she said in a soft voice. "It whispers. We are the ones who need to learn to listen." Clara deeply respected her mother-in-law. Many of the household decisions were guided by the simple advice Donna Maria let fall like seeds. They weren't orders, nor criticisms. They were words full of care. That afternoon, Donna Maria observed the couple working in silence and smiled. She knew that there, something rare existed: respect, union, and presence. Things that cannot be bought and are not learned quickly. For her, seeing that family living in harmony was her greatest achievement. And even with a body tired by time, her heart remained strong, sustaining everything around it like an old, firm root. The day advanced and, with it, small victories began to accumulate. João finished the fence repair ahead of schedule, something simple, but it left him satisfied. He stopped for a few seconds, rested his hands on the wood, and observed the field. He felt pride, not for grandeur, but for constancy. In the house, Clara managed to prepare the bread exactly as Donna Maria liked it. Soft on the inside, lightly golden on the outside. When the mother tasted it, she closed her eyes and smiled. She didn't need to say anything. That smile was reward enough. Lunch was peaceful. There was no rush, no demands. Just light conversation and low laughter. João told a short story from his youth. Clara joked about the memory, and Donna Maria completed it with a comment full of humor. These simple moments gave meaning to the daily effort. The farm didn't just produce food. It produced encounters, memories, and a sense of duty fulfilled. At the end of the afternoon, Clara hung the laundry on the line and watched the wind sway the fabrics. She thought about how life there taught that winning isn't about conquering much, but about taking good care of what you have. João and Clara were not a couple of grand speeches. Their love lived in the details. In the way he always left his boots in the same corner so as not to dirty the house. In her care in setting aside his favorite shirt for the next day. While João cleaned the tools, Clara sewed, sitting near the window. They didn't talk much, but the silence between them was comfortable. A silence that didn't pull them apart, it brought them closer. Every so often, their eyes would meet, and a discreet smile would emerge, as if both knew they were exactly where they should be. Donna Maria watched everything from afar. In her time, she had learned that true love is not measured by the intensity of moments, but by their constancy. And there, in that simple routine, she saw a love that was strong, patient, and enduring. At night, Clara placed a blanket over her mother-in-law's shoulders without being asked. João noticed the gesture and felt pride in the family he had built. Loving, on that ranch, was not something extraordinary. It was everyday life. And perhaps that was why it was so deep. When the sun began to descend, the farm changed its rhythm. The sounds became softer, the wind cooler, and everything seemed to slow down naturally. João gathered the animals calmly, speaking low, as if respecting the fatigue of the day. Clara organized the house, closed windows, and prepared the table for dinner. Donna Maria remained on the porch, watching the sky take on orange tones. The sunset was her favorite moment. She said that was the time when life took a deep breath. The day had been productive. Nothing extraordinary had happened. And that, for them, was perfect. When João returned to the house, he sat for a few minutes beside his mother. Not a word was said. Only the distant sound of crickets and the sky slowly transforming. Clara appeared with a mug of hot tea and handed it to Donna Maria, who thanked her with a light touch on her hand. That late afternoon didn't need to be captured in photos. It would be kept where it truly mattered, in the heart. After a simple dinner, the family gathered in the living room. The light was low, coming from the lamp that softly illuminated tired but satisfied faces. João told old stories of the farm, of difficult times that were overcome with work and unity. Clara listened attentively, and Donna Maria filled in some memories, always with good humor. There was no television on. There were no distractions. Only presence. Donna Maria dozed for a few minutes, peaceful. Clara covered her shoulders with care. João observed the scene and felt a deep gratitude. The night moved forward slowly, like everything on that farm. There was no anxiety for tomorrow, only well-deserved rest. Before getting up, Dona Maria opened her eyes and said, "What a beautiful day we had." And it was true. Beautiful not for what happened, but for how it was lived. João had thought, in other times, about leaving. He had known people who sought more, always more. More money, more haste, more noise. But there, sitting in that simple house, he understood that his greatest choice had been to stay. Stay to care for the land. Stay to honor his mother. Stay to build a solid love. Clara held his hand without saying anything. She, too, had chosen to stay. Not for lack of options, but out of conviction. Dona Maria, even in silence, felt pride. She knew that not everyone understands the value of permanence. The farm didn't promise ease. It promised meaning. And that was enough. Before sleeping, João went out to the porch and looked at the starry sky. He took a deep breath. He gave thanks in silence. Nothing had been lost that day, only lived. Clara was already lying down, tired and serene. Dona Maria slept peacefully, with the calm face of one who feels secure. Tomorrow would come with work, challenges, and small victories. But it would also come with love, unity, and peace. And that was enough. Perhaps you who heard this story also carry fatigue, longing, or a desire for a simpler life. Remember, happiness isn't always about changing everything. Sometimes, it's about taking better care of what we already have. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel. Here, every week, we bring stories that calm, strengthen, and inspire. Comment, what represents home to you? Your comment might warm another heart. Until the next story.